Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Hindu Temple Society of North America Learning Series number 61. Our topic today is Shri Devi Navarãtri celebrations. I am Divya Vanka, one of the members of Akshayam, which was established in the year of 2016. It's a team of Hindu young professionals of the Hindu Temple Society of North America. We volunteer at the temple to preserve the Hindu tradition and practices and engage in discussions to aim and build legacy for the future generations. Akshayam organizes the monthly discussions as part of the unique learning series. This is our 61st session, and today's guest speaker is Siva Sri Ravi Vaidyanaat Sivachariar, the Director of Religious Affairs at the temple. Viewers may post their questions in the comments section if they wish to seek more details on today's topic. If anyone misses the live session, you're more than welcome to view it later at your leisure time through Temple's YouTube or Facebook page. Sivachariar Garuji, may I request you to render a prayer before we commence the session?
Namaste. Sadha Shiva Samarambham Sri Kantacharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Bandhe Guru Paramparam Sarva Mrityu Prashamani Sarva Vigna Vinashini Sarvanga Sundari Mata Sarva Saubhagyadayini Katyayanaya Vitmahe Kanyakumari Dhimahi Tanno Durghi Prachodayat Arihi Om. Thank you, Vijaya.
Thank you, Uncle. Today we'll be going through a list of questions related to Shri Devi Navarãtri celebrations. Our first question today, I'll give a brief introduction and I'll run through the questions. In this materialist world, with an intention to create a mind devoted to mankind, compassion, unity, avoiding hatred and animosity, it is believed that God's grace and blessings are important, as it enables one to lead a peaceful life. Our thoughts and actions are powerful. They carry energy. They are like an echo. We are alone are responsible for our actions. We are responsible for our own karma. It is the law of cause and effect, an unbreakable law of the cosmos. We deserve everything that happens to us, good or bad. We create our happiness and our misery. Celebration of Navaratri signifies devotion to mankind, unity, peaceful life, and happiness. Let us find out from Sivachariar Garu as to the real meaning of Navaratri and why is it called so.
Yeah, thank you, Divya. Navaratri is one of the events and it's also a spiritual observance in our tradition. There are different reasons to observe this event by different people of various regions. As per the legend, some of the demons or asuras who were very powerful and they are also very ambitious and continually they are trying to defeat the devas and capture the heaven. One such asura whose name is Mahishasura, he grew very powerful and created havoc on earth. Under his leadership, the asuras defeated the devas. The world was crushed under Mahishasura's tyranny. The devas hence joined their energies into Shakti as a single mass of incandescent energy to eliminate Mahishasura. A very powerful band of lightning emerged from Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra. With that as a result, an young and beautiful feminine virgin manifested with 10 hands. All the gods gave their special weapons to her. These Shaktis combined as gifted by Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra and all Devatas, combined to form the goddess Durga. One could see, so you can see from this picture, goddess Durga holds Brahma Danda, the astra blessed by Lord Brahma. She is also carrying, if you see the top two hands, she is carrying Shanku Chakra, which was blessed by Lord Mahavishnu. You will also see Trishula and Agni or Dhamaru, which was gifted by Rudra, which is Sulaidas, as all the astras. So she was gifted by all these astras offered to her, and she is also riding on a lion, which also assisted her to fight with all the demons, including Mahishasura. So the battle raged for 9 nights. Finally, on the 10th day, Mahishasura was defeated and eliminated by goddess Durga. So the first 9 days are observed as Navaratri. Nava means 9, Ratri means night. So 9 night, and the 10th day is a day of victory. So it is called as Vijaya Dashami day. This Navaratri is also referred as Sharan Navaratri or Sharda Navaratri, both way. Some call it also as a Dasara, 10 nights. Of course, we'll look at it, why it is also called Dasara. And some people refer it as a Durgotsava or Durga Puja to celebrate Durga's victory. Because it's a victory for Durga, they call it as Durga Puja or Durgotsava also. There is also another event coinciding the same time period in another area, which is, it's another event which is known as Dasara. Actually, Dasara has got two way of pronouncing the Dasara. One is Dasara. Das means 10. Ra means Ratri. Like how 9 Ratri, Navaratri, Das Ratri is Dasaratri. Dasara. Dasratri become Dasara. But there is also another word or pronounced as a Dashara, which means derived from Dasha and Hara. It is not Ratri. Here it is Dasha Hara. Dasha in the which is an abridged word of Dashanan. For to represent Lord Ganesha, we use Gajanan. Gajanan means Gaja Anana. Anana means Mukha. Gaja means elephant. So elephant faced divinity is called as Gajanana. In the same way, Dashanana, that means one who has got 10 face or 10 heads. Who is having 10 heads? Ravana. So here, Dashanana becomes Dasha, and Hara means defeat. So the 10-headed Ravana was described as devil in the legend or in the Ramayana, epic Ramayana, and then he was Hara. Hara means defeated. So the 10-headed Ravana was defeated by Lord Rama. So it becomes, this day became the victory day for Lord Rama, who finished King Ravana or Dashanana, who has got 10-headed. So 10-headed Ravana is Dashanana. Hara means defeat. So the Dashanana Hara became Dashara. Dashahara means Dashanana Hara. So people also celebrate the victory of Lord Rama over Ravana. So there was a big, there used to be year after year a big event celebrating this in Ram Leela Maidan in India, especially New Delhi, recalling the same event. So Navaratri, one side it is Durga fighting with demons, Mahishasura and other asuras. In another one is Dashahara, which is defeat of 10-headed Ravana, Dashanan Hara. So it is Dashahara. This is one. Now there is also third way of understanding this as per the Sanskrit literature. The Sanskrit literature talk about Dasara. Here it is Dasha means 10. Hara means you have to defeat these 10. What are those 10? There are 10 bad qualities which we have with us. So what said in the Sanskrit literature, one need to do self-appraisal year after year. And you need to select, or when you do your own appraisal, you know what is your good quality, what is your bad quality. So choose top 10 bad quality of yours. So if I choose 10 bad qualities, maybe even if you are confused, the literature gives what are the 10 bad qualities that we may have. Number 1 is ahankara, ego. Number 2, amanatva, cruelty. We have cruelty in our mind, ego within us. The third one is anyaya. Sometimes we do certain things anyaya, which is injustice. We may have kama vasana, lust. We may be krodha, anger with us. So lobha, greed, madha, overpride, matsarya, jealousy, moha, attachment, swartha, selfishness. So these are all the top 10. Of course, we may have more than 10 also, but it says at least choose top 10 bad qualities of ours and then defeat those bad qualities and replace it with a good quality. The literature also talks about what are the good qualities that we need to replace these 10. So there are 10 top good qualities which have to be considered in replacing these 10 bad qualities. Or one is strength and courage as against ahankara. Recognition of recognition of true nature with every entity, which is to replace amanatva. Then alertness, creativity, skill and compassion, healthier relationship with every entity, dynamism, wisdom, perfection, enlightenment. So these 10 good qualities to be infused or developed or practiced by us by eliminating 10 bad qualities. To eliminate means hara. 10 qualities, dasahara. So that is why it is Dasara.
Yeah.
So whether it is Navaratri or Dasara, it has a different way of understanding and different meaning. And that is why it is celebrated in different ways and forms by different people, group of people. Okay. And coming to, I told you about all Navaratri and Dasara. Now the last day, which is Vijayadashami, also has got differently observed by people. Number one, in this context, the literature context, I said Vijayadashami, it signifies win over bad qualities. You have to win over bad. That is one meaning, which is Vijayadashami. Because Dasami means you are winning over. Once you achieved this, then it is winning over. So Vijayadashami, on the 10th day, the 10 qualities, bad qualities. Then that is one real meaning. And then, of course, this Vijayadashami also considered as a auspiciousness to start a formal education. To begin, because that is why Sharad Navaratri. That means Sharada means Sharada Navaratri, we say. Sharada is a representation of Saraswati. So it is a good day. On that day, on the Vijayadashami day, it is good to start formal education for any beginners, not necessarily child. Even suppose if I start a new education, suppose if I'm already having proficiency in certain knowledge, now I want to enter into new knowledge, I can also start. Anyone who begin their studies can start their education on Vijayadashami day. So that is why you will find the children are initiated into studies. And also the guru or the teachers are revered on this day. So we call this day as a Vijayadashami day as a Vidyaramba day. So we celebrate or we observe Vidyaramba on Vijayadashami day. And not only that, this Vijayadashami has been made as one of the sacramental rituals in our life. You know, there are 16 Sodasha karma, karmas or 16 sacramental ritual we have to perform for each and every living being. And it is our dharma, which was prescribed in our text. So Vidyaramba is a must, like how we do Namakarana and Chuta karma and all those Vivaha, Upanayana, all those karmas. This is Vidyaramba is also one of the sacramental ritual that we need to perform. So a day which is commonly given for everyone is Vijayadashami day. Not only that, you look at the business entities. They also do this Vijayadashami or the 10th day of the Navaratri or Dasara day. They do Ayuda Puja in their units. In all our business units, we do the Ayuda Puja in honor of respecting all the tools and machineries which helped us in increasing the productivity. So each and every object, whether it's a living object, non-living object, all are respected, because there are a lot of tools, lot of equipments, lot of machineries help us, because they also have energy, but not like a living entity, but everyone has got a nucleus energy within this. No? So we respect the energy, which is a potential of each and every object. So they help us in increasing the productivity. So that is why it is believed anything started on this day is bound for victory. So the day of victory is Vijay. Vijaya means victory. So Vijayadashami, the 10th day, is treated as a Vijayadashami or a day of victory. So like that, of course, there are so many other things. I think this is what popularly people understand and then celebrate the event. Navaratri or Dasara or Dashahara or Vijaya Dashami or Vidyaramba or Ayudha Puja, all are aligned with in these 10 days. Thank you.
But I also heard the same festival is observed in other time period of the year too.
Yes,
So
yes. Yeah, you are right. You are right. You see, now normally Navaratri means we only know about this period of time what we observe. Okay, there are four time in a year, in a lunar year. Okay, because most of these vratas and festivals are observed in the lunar years. So in the lunar year, there are 4 Navaratris are referred in our text to be observed. The one is beginning with the first month, for example, Chaitra Masa, Chitra Masa or Chaitra Masa, we have something called as Vasanta Navaratri. Vasanta Navaratri is observed in the month of Vasanta Ritu, or which is climatic season. Ritu is a season, Chaitra is a month. When the Vasanta Ritu and the Chaitra Masa together, it is Vasanta Navaratri, which is number one. The second one is Ashada Navaratri. That means the name itself says Ashada. That means the lunar month Ashada, and it is a Grishma Ritu. So on the Ashada Masa, Grishma Ritu period, Ashada Navaratri is observed. This is second. Vasanta Navaratri, then Ashada Navaratri. The third one is what we are observing now in this month, which is called as Sharada Navaratri or Sharan Navaratri or Sharad Navaratri. It is it is narrated in all this way. Same, all refers to same. It is observed in the Ashvida Masa and Sharad Ritu. The name of the Ritu also is Sharad Ritu. That is why it is Sharad Navaratri, because the Ritu name is also Sharad Ritu. So we saw Vasanta Navaratri, Ashada Navaratri, Sharad Navaratri or Sharada Navaratri. The fourth one is called as Shyamala Navaratri, which is observed in the Pushya Masa along with Hemanta Ritu. So that is what Shyamala Navaratri, it is also called as Pushya Navaratri. Like Ashada Navaratri, this is called as Pushya Navaratri. So we saw 4-1. So Vasanta Navaratri, Ashada Navaratri, Sharan Navaratri or Shyamala Navaratri. Of course, there are, of course, when we talk about the significance of the divinity of whichever Devis, we will talk. At that time, we can explain about which deity is prime in that. But for the current period of the Sharada Navaratri, it is the Durga, which is main deity here. So out of these 4, what we observe now is Sharad Navaratri. But in our temple, what we do is, instead of observing in all 4 time period, we observe it together as a Devi Navaratri. We don't call it as a Sharada Navaratri, Sharana. We call it as a Devi Navaratri. So all the Devis are respected and prayed together in this period of time. So that is special about, most of the people also observe this Navaratri as a major, and this is very popular among all the 4. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Uncle, for explaining all the various Navaratri festivals that we observe throughout the year. Our next question is, so Chandi Navarna Puja, Saptasati Parayanam are also seen performed every day during Navaratri. What is very special about this special performance?
Yeah. See, the name itself goes like Chandi Navavarna Puja. That means even though Durga is the deity, and there are different form of Durga based on the situation and thing. She appears in the very fiercely and powerful form, which is called as Chandi. So when the Durga is in the fiercely or powerful deity form to safeguard people from demons or asuras, she take the form of fierce form, which is called as Chandi. So which is one of the form of goddess Durga. And a puja performed for such form is called as Chandi Navavarana Puja. There are 9 steps. Nava Avarana Puja. That is number 1. This is basically done because in this form, goddess Durga or in the form of Chandi will bestow the power to balance between passion and dispassion,
Mm-hmm.
or indulgence and denial. And also what blessings that we get, because she bestow power to for us to handle both good and bad, or passion and dispassion, all those things. At the same time, she will also bless us to manifest our true divine self. When we say self, automatically we also sometimes not get, we used to be very much self, what I'll call it as selfishness. When we realize our true nature, we also get a add-on, or it's a additional thing. We get freebies. We get selfishness.
Mm-hmm.
So when Chandi bless us, it is like how we balance passion versus dispassion, and indulgence versus denial. So we should also know how to balance between selfishness and selflessness.
Yeah.
So we need to also do a lot of service called selflessness. So the blessing from deity, this Chandi, is also for that. So that is why people perform this Chandi Puja or Chandi Homa, or read the Chandi Pata. They call it as Chandi path, like that. So one can become free of course, this is very, as I said, it's a fiercely and powerful deity. This will help us to become free from all evil eyes, free from curses, and free from any obstacles or disturbances from the evil spirits. And also, we get blessings with a lasting health, wealth, and prosperity. So that is a blessing we get from this. But goddess Shakti, because Durga, as I told initially, she was empowered by all Trinity God, Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra. So I will call, because one time we called her the Durga or a Chandi, or so many other names we are going to see. So I will put it as goddess Shakti, because it is a combined Shakti, which is an embodiment of all divine forces. And she is the mother of all the universe. That is why she is called as Parashakti. Para means the supreme, Shakti means the ultimate energy. So that is why she is referred as Parashakti, or simply Goddess Shakti. And she is the savior of her children, obviously. When she has got the ultimate power, it is her grace that she will save all the children on the earth and protect them from the evil. Why I say children? Because she is a mother. So she treats every living entity in the earth as her own child. So, and that is one of the reasons Goddess Shakti manifests in various forms. The mother always plays a multiple role in our lifetime. In the same way, Goddess Shakti manifests in various form, sometimes fearful form, sometimes pleasing form. And then why she has to take these many forms? Because she has to eliminate all asuras who were torturing the humans, and also not only humans, also the celestial devas. So that is why she takes that fearful form. And this was very explained very detailedly in Devi Mahatmyam, about various manifestations that it takes, whether to destroy or to bless. Both forms we will explain when we talk about Devi Mahatmyam, which is also known as Durga Saptasati, because this Devi Mahatmyam has got 700 divine verses. So that is why it is called as Durga Saptasati. Sapta means 7, Sata means Satam, means 100. 700 verses it has got. And these 700 verses, the word of Goddess herself. It is not somebody has composed this Saptasati. It was the words from the Goddess herself. And to feel the energy and seek blessings from this Shakti in the form of Chandi, we perform Chandi Navavarana Puja every day during this Navaratri. Also, every Paurnami also we do. Apart from that, as you said, we also chant every day Saptasati Parayana. There are three things initially I said. No, one is Parayanam, one is Puja, the third is Homa. All the three we do. We do all the day Puja, we do all the day chanting Parayanam. We also at the end of the day, on the Vijaya Dashami day, we do Chandi Homam. That is also being done. Now, during this period, there is also another important event. Like how I said about Vijaya Dashami and Dashanana Hara, there is one more thing, which important day falls during Navaratri is called as Durgashtami, which is the 8th day. Ashtami means 8. When it's a Navaratri on the 8th night, which is called as Durgashtami or Ashtami day, which is observed during this celebration. And it is on this day, of course, there are different reasons to celebrate. You know what happened? The women folk, they will commence a fasting or a vrata for 21 days. Starting from this Durgashtami day, it span up to Chaturdasi day of Diwali. If you calculate the Durgashtami to Deepavali, it will be exactly 21 days. From the day of Durgashtami, any year you calculate, you start the counting from Durgashtami and end at Chaturdashi, which is the Deepavali day. Naraka Chaturdasi, we say, no? Which is Deepavali. So 21 days it ends. And they end the vrata by celebrating Kedarishwari vrata or Kedara Gauri vrata, or some people call it as a Deepavali vrata. Actually, the Deepavali vrata should be started on the Durgashtami day and adhere the fasting for 21 days. Finally, end the vrata on Deepavali or on the Chaturdasi day, and then do the Kedarishwari Puja. Some people call it as a Kedara Gauri Vrata Puja. That is number one. And then that way Durgashtami is observed. To mark the beginning of this vrata, in the evening of Durgashtami day, we do a puja called Durga Deepa Namaskara Puja. And why we do Durga Deepa Namaskara Puja? It is very auspicious to offer Deepa Namaskara. You will find a mandala drawn or a mystic diagram or a yantra. On a yantra, a lamp is lit, a Deepa is lit with also Deepa around it. And then the sacred Bija mantras are chanted. And we also do prostration or Namaskara for 21 times. And by chanting 21 Namaskara sloka from chapter 5 of Devi Mahatmya. You know, the whole Navaratri is explained in Devi Mahatmya. In that Devi Mahatmya, you will find chapter 5 has got 21 slokas. These 21 slokas are chanted during the Deepa Namaskara Puja. We do 21 times Namaskara, and women folk start 21 days fasting from that day. So like this, whether Chandi Navavarna Puja or Saptasati Parayana or Durgashtami, Durga Deepa Namaskara, all are very significant event. During, like how Mahabharata has got so many stories within, similarly Navaratri has got built in so many inner stories within that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle. So you've explained the importance of Devi Mahatmya from what I've understood from the conversation so far. I think the audience would like to know the importance of Devi Mahatmya that reveals about the glory of Devi and her Shakti.
Yeah.
So could you explain its significance briefly?
Okay. See, Devi Mahatmyam is one of the important text that one need to look at. And when I say Devi Mahatmyam, Devi means it's, as I said, it is Shakti. It is Shakti represented in the Ikaranta Srilingaha, Shakti. Like when you say Shiva, Shakti. Shiva is Pullingaha, this is Shakti is a Srilangaha. That is why we call it in the feminine form. Goddess Shakti is represented. So Devi means Shakti. Mahatmyam means it is revealing the glory of Shakti. That is why Devi Mahatmyam. It means the glory of Goddess Shakti revealed. And where do you find this Devi Mahatmyam? In which text? Because Devi Mahatmyam, it is not a independent text. It is a text within a Purana called Markandeya Purana. Markandeya Purana is a very huge voluminous text. Within the Markandeya Purana, the chapter 81 to 93. That means from 81 to 93 means there are totally 13 chapters. 13 chapters comprises or to be treated as Devi Mahatmyam. Because these 13 chapters, basically it was composed as in a dialogue form. Because the name itself says Markandeya Purana, Obviously, it is a dialogue between Markandeya Maharishi or sage Markandeya and Krostiki. So both of them are doing a debate and discussion, and then the goddess Devi reveals herself. I said, no, the Devi Mahatmyam is a full revelation of the Durga or the Shakti. So whatever her revelation is described in from chapter 81 to 93, spreading across 13 chapters. That is why when you do the Chandi Homam, we do 13 Purnahuti. The 13th will be the Mahapurnahuti. 13 times they will offer Ahuti for when they complete every chapter. So that is 13 chapters, representing 13 during the puja. Now, this text is also referred as some people call it as a Devi Mahatmyam, some people call it as a Devi Bhagavatam. Okay, Devi Bhagavatam is also there. And some people, for easy understanding, because this Devi Mahatmyam, even though it is spread across 13 chapter, if you add the total verses in this 13 chapter, it amounts to 700 verses totally. So that is why it is also called as Shapta Shati. Sapta means 7, Shatam means 100. So Shapta Shatam, so Sapta Sati. So Durga Sapta Sati. Some people call it as in that way. Some people call it Devi Bhagavatam, or of course, as a whole, it is Markandeya Purana. Under Markandeya Purana, between chapter 81 to 93, 13 chapters is called as Devi Mahatmyam. And as I told you initially, in Devi is also referred as a Parashakti, which is described here as eternal, and she is the infinite consciousness. And when we were describing the Navaratri, he said, no, goddess Durga's is basically the form is to fight with a lot of demons and also to overcome obstacles and overcome the psychic forces, a lot of negativity forces which are acting against us. Everything have to be eliminated. And there are description which says how many kind of demons which came and to be handled by this Devi Shakti to fight with. One is the popular is Mahishasura. There are other demons like Dhumra Lochana, Chanda Munda, Rakta Bhija, and then Nishumba Shumba. Like that, so many other demons were handled by Shakti to get eliminated, basically to what? To free the people from all this ill effect. And the best way of understanding this Devi Mahatmyam is from the commentary of Sri Bhaskaraya. He has done a beautiful commentary on this Devi Mahatmyam. So if anyone want to refer the details, it is only the Bhaskaraya's comment is the best, I will say. And to learn this Devi Mahatmyam, one need to get Diksha, or simply it is called as initiation from a guru, to learn and also to practice it. Otherwise, no, it is because it has a lot of very effective and the kind of mantra I'm going to tell you what all it has got. So one cannot just like that without the help of a guru, one cannot learn this Devi Mahatmya. So you need a guru. Obviously, the guru will initiate you on all the mantras, various mantras that we have it. And there are 9 ways of we call it as a Pata Vidhi. There is 9 ways of learning this Devi Mahatmya. So we will call it simply as a rules, how to learn. There is a rule for that, not that easy. These 9 are called as, quickly I'll say like, Mahavidya Patakrama. We have Mahatantra Patakrama and Saptasati Patakrama. And 4th is Mrita Sanjeevini Patakrama is there. There is a Mahachandi Patakrama, Chandi Patakrama, Rupa Chandi Patakrama, Yogini Patakrama, and Parachandi Patakrama. 9. There are 9 ways of, that is why Navaratri. This is another from Devi Mahatmyam, because of course it doesn't stop with 9. I'm going to come to the 10th also, but this is 9 is very popular. So that means 9 way of chanting Devi Mahatmyam. And each one have different purpose, different reasons to chant. So maybe we will get only one of them by our guru who will initiate us. And the 10th one also I will tell you, because it is not that easy. It's very tough one, because it goes in the descending order. The 10th verse, the 10th patakrama or 10th vidhi is called as viparita krama. The 10th one is not that easy. So the word itself says, when I say it is referred as viparita krama or samhara krama. So you need to be like only those, like people who are in the police or people in the army will be of that aggressiveness in fighting enemies, is it not? Normally you and me will not be that aggressive to go and fight with enemies. Who will fight with enemies with arms and ammunition is the uh, army people, and they have to be very aggressive at that time, is it not? Of course, their purpose is to safeguard the people, the safeguard the country. So in the same way, the 10th chapter, or not 10th chapter, it is 10th way of learning is viparita krama and or samhara krama. But one beauty in this one is when all the other way of chanting is from ascending order, the 10th vidhi is a descending order. Okay, the same 700 verses are chanted in the reverse mode. Like when the all other way we chant from 1 to 700, whereas in the viparita krama, it is from 700 to 1. So you do it in the reverse mode. So it is not that easy for everyone. No, like I cannot tell a word in the reverse order. I can suppose, because we are all used to read only from left to right, but there are also right to left. If they have practice in that way, so it is very difficult. But that is also, there is one more method called viparita krama, basically for samhara krama, which is done in the reverse order. So that is one more thing, beauty about the Devi Mahatmya. And this text also has got so many other prayer slokas. Like we have a not only prayer so-called, it's only preamble to, before studying the full chapter, all the 13 chapters of Devi Mahatmyam, priests will not directly initiate us into 13 chapter. So there are preambles for learning this. It includes like Kavacha, Devi Kavacha, Argala Stotra, Kilaka. Then it has got a lot of Suktam called Ratri Suktam. We have Devi Atharva Sirisham and Devi Navavarna Vidhi. So all the Vidhis, rules also told as a preamble. Then the Saptasati Nyasa. How do we get initiate of all the Nyasa? All those things are all taught before learning the Devi Mahatmya. That's why I said we need to get initiated first before start learning. And then only after this, they will start reading the first chapter, second chapter, third chapter, like that. And that is not over. After the 13th chapter, there are some ending. Like how we have a preamble, there is a proper way of closing. So there are some Devi Suktams chanted. There are some Kshama prayers. Because during the process of learning, our mind would have also grasped some negative forces, negative energies, because we should know the properties of negative forces. No, then only then we can attack it. We can win over thing. Unless you know the features of the enemy, you can't win over him, is it not? So that means when we are studying the Devi Mahatmyam, you will also be studying some of the negative aspects. So to ensure that you are not going in the wrong direction, you are given some peaceful prayers at the end, which are chanted like suktams. Devi suktams are chanted. Kshama prayers. So we have to pardon the deity so that we don't get into those wrong. Because if I know the negative forces, then I will also try to do negativity, to others. So we have to chant in Shama prayers, and then completely after this, we completion of all reading, we also have to do a proper way of Harti and things like that. So that is how the Devi Mahatmyams are learned by us. And in a nutshell, if I have to say what is the feature of this Devi Mahatmya, I told about preamble, those things. So the main this thing, as I told you beginning, Devi Mahatmya means it is glorifying the God. But when I say glorifying, it glorifies both positive and negative way. In a fearful form of Durga as well as a pleasing form of Durga. What are the fearful form of Durga? Like Chandi is a very fiercely form. Kali, Kali is we call it as a Ugra Rupa. You have to be aggressive, like Ugram. So Kali, Chamunda, all are Ugra Rupam. And we will also find the Devi's manifestation in a very pleasing form. What are those pleasing? Of course, there are, apart from let me give a few more example of Chandi, Kali, Chamunda. There are also like Shakambari. To handle the Rakta Bijakshara, there is a Rakta Dandika. Danda means to punish Raksha Bijakshara. So that is why it is called a Rakta Dandika. Then Chinna Masma, which is also playing with all the negative elements. Durmukhi. So keeping the aggressive face, like that is why it's called a Durmukhi. Then there is also Vyagramukhi. These are all the fierce form Durga appears to win over the negativities. Now, what about the pleasing forms? You have a lot of pleasing form of Durga, like Kumari, Kalyani, Sambhavi, Trimurti, because she is the combined form of Brahma, Rudra, and Shiva. Brahma, Vishnu, and Rudra. Trimurti. She is also called as Trimurti form, and she also take the form of Subhadra. Bhadra means the best, and beautiful, and then pleasing, blessing form, Subhadra. So that is why she has, in the whole Mahatmyam, Devi Mahatmya has got both fearful form as well as a pleasing form. So it is always good to worship only the pleasing form of Devi. Of course, at times we also, as I said, we need to do for us to be proactive in handling the negativities. So that is why the fearful form are also required, which is what Goddess Devi takes care of those angle. And then if you look at that is various forms of Devi. Then what are the different mantras that we use in the Devi Mahatmya? Mantras are called as Navakshari mantra. Like we have for every god, you have mantra, like Panchakshari, Sadakshari, Sodasakshari. So for the Devis, there are a lot of Navakshari mantras explained in the Devi Mahatmya. Saptasati mantra. The whole 700 sloka is also treated as a mantra. Saptasati mantra. That means 700 mantras. Then there are also 64 yogini mantras, which is again for used for productivity. And that is why we do the, Ayuda Puja. Production, the equipment which help us in production and, high production and high profitability and all. So 64 yogini mantras. And not only that, it also helps us, it narrates about various yantras that we use. That is one of the reason during the Navavarna Puja, we use yantra called Sri Chakra Maha Yantra. Why we use Sri Chakra Yantra? Because that is one of the object or equipment or a machinery which will produce all good powers. In a Navavarana, 9 steps of prisms combinedly called as Sri Chakra Yantra. Of course, we talked about these yantras and sign and symbols already in the previous learning sessions. So Sri Chakra Puja is another important revelation from the Devi Mahatmya. So that means the Devi Mahatmyam focuses on mantra, tantra, and yantra. So it reveals a lot of mantras and it has a lot of tantra. What is basically the other mantra, tantra, or yantra is to get rid of from evil eyes, get rid of from curses also. A lot of people will be cursing us, no? So we should get rid of curses. We should get rid of obstacles. Also, we need to get blessings. So the mantras are for both purpose, to get rid of negativity and also to get good energies like lasting health, wealth, prosperity, all those things we say, so that is the purpose. So all these mantras forms a mystic power in Devi Mahatmya. So there is a mystic power which is mantra, and the yantras like Sri Chakra Yantra. There are so many yantras. There are more than hundreds yantras described in Devi Mahatmya. So you should know which yantra to be used at which time and which period of this thing for which problem. All those things are narrated there. So mantra, yantra. What is then tantra then? Tantra is actually the doctrine. So that is why I said one need to get initiation or diksha. Otherwise, we will use the wrong element or wrong tool for wrong purpose. So we should know we should know how to use the right mantra, right yantra, and right purpose. So that is why I was telling that it has Devi Mahatmya has got everything. mantra, tantra, yantra, which is called as a triad. So that is about this thing. Of course, I can, if time permit, let me quickly give you one or two example of mantras, which I will only talk about the bestowal of benefit to us. So it is good for us to know few sloka. Maybe one or two I will give because I have taken more time here. See, if you go to the chapter 11 and sloka 39, which talks about Narayani. Narayani is another peaceful form of Devi. So there is a Narayani Stuti which says Sarva Bhata Prashamanam Trailokyasa Akileshwari Evameva Tvaya Karyam Asmadvairi Vinashanam. That means it is a prayer to Devi, who is the goddess of the three worlds, who would remove, that is it, Trilokya Akileshwari. Akilam means the entire world. Trilokya, three worlds, all the three worlds. She will remove all the obstacles, and also she will destroy all our negative forces, all our enemies. Okay. Asmad Vairi Vinashana. Vinashana means to destroy all the Asmad Vairi, all negativity will be removed. So that is one good thing. Similarly, in the 12th chapter, sloka number 19, which is Devi in part of Devi Charita, when the Markandeya is explaining about the forms, different forms, he says, Durvrittanam Seshanam Balahanicaram Param Raksho Bhuta Pishachanam Pitha Patana Devanashanam. So when we read this Devi Mahatmyam, just by reading alone, Goddess Durga would listen to it. So either you can read or you can do puja by chanting this Devi Mahatmyam, or do a homa like Chandi homa. Whether you read or even just by reading alone, it says, and listening to the glorification of Goddess Durga, it will destroy all those who have wickedness in their mind. That means whatever the wickedness, the bad, this thing we have, negativities in us, it will bring down. Like how Durga is bringing down the actions of demons and ghost and evil spirit with her utmost power. Just by reading the text, which is her own words, Goddess Durga's word from Devi Mahatmyam, it will give us all the bestowal of graces. That is one thing. Let me tell you maybe from another one, which is a kavacham. Kavacham means protection. How are we protected? By reading this Devi Mahatmyam. It says, Agnina Dahyamanastu Shatru Madhye Gatarane. So what is a Vishame Durgame Chaiva Bhayartha Sharanam Gata. Sharanam means all of us, by prostrating in front of or by surrendering ourselves. If anyone surrender to Goddess Durga and chant her mantra from this Devi Mahatmyam, which is registered in his mind, that means he has to first observe and then chant this mantra, she would safeguard all of us whenever we are affected by any heavy radiation of heat, because evil powers will not come in a physical form. It may come to us in a form of radiation. It will radiate and get into us. So she will protect so that this bad radiation does not come to us. And she will also secure. That is why it is called as kavacham. This is called as a Durga kavacham. It will protect us, like how we have the shield around us by chanting these mantras. And she will relieve all our hardship, and if we are caught by enemies. And she will also cure all the poisonous energy or poisonous disease or such virus and such bacteria. She will protect us, and not only protect us, she will give a kavacham to us through this mantra chanting. So like that, I can keep on talk more about this Devi Mahatmyam. Of course, as I said, one need to get initiation, and it's very good to learn about Devi Mahatmyam. Thank you, Divya.
Thank you, Uncle. So there's a few questions in the audience. I'm going to skip to the audience questions. The first question was by Rav. I think we've already touched upon this earlier in the learning series. He wants to know, what is the significance of observing Navaratri seasonally?
Okay, so the season is supposed to help us for say, for example, in fact, we have a separate learning season about the significance of each season. There are totally 6 seasons that we observe in 12-month period. Okay, in that, except the Hemanta Ritu and the I think it's the Varsha Ritu, all other Ritus are addressed, because in Varsha Ritu it is very it's a rainy season. Varsha means rainy, so rainy season is different purpose. So that is why there is no worship of Devis at that time. And similarly, Hemanta Ritu, all other Ritus, all the 4 Ritus, out of 4 Ritus, and combined with that month. So that means these are all the period where we get affected by enemies. Like, the diseases are seasonal. Disease doesn't come. There are certain diseases which is not coming all through the season, is it not? Only certain seasons. So that is why in each season you are affected by something. In rainy seasons, all these bad elements get developed. They don't attack at that time, but after the rain is over, we are affected by diseases. The flu comes before and after, not during rain, is it not? Like that, we get affected by enemies and bad elements around us. That is why the season is also counted, so that we are not only enemies, means don't think it is human enemies to us. There are a lot of other enemies which are to be addressed. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Uncle. I think one of the Akshayam members has asked a question, Anish, in the chat. He wants an explanation how we can worship the 9 Durgas, starting with Shailaputri.
Okay. See, in the Devi Mahatmyam, it narrates, as I said, there are 9 way of chanting. When you talk about Dasara, there are 10 divinities. Okay. There are 10 days that Durga is prayed in 10 different forms. Even when I told about 13 chapter, which should be read within 10 days. So there are certain forms of Devi to be prayed on each day. So that, like that, Shailaputri is one of the form of Durga. So like that, there are Skanda is one form. There are so many form of Durga. Shailaputri is one such form. Not only the form. See, the Devi Mahatmya explains every day there is a deity, a form of deity, the color of deity. That is why they said you would have seen in home people wear different color saris every day. So it has a significance. That color has a significance. The deity form has a significance. The food that you offer also has a significance. There is a paddhati says on first day you have to offer this food. Second day you have to offer this food. Third day you have to offer this food. Similarly, the flowers that you offer, the dravyas you offer, it varies. So Shailaputri is one form of divinity out of 10 different forms. Of course, not 10 alone, isn't there? Are more, but these 10 days, 10 forms are worship. Shailaputri is one such form.
Okay. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you,
I
Anish.
see there is one more. What about one more question which I could also see is about, they're asking about the Kolu or Kolu doll.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're eager to know about the settings of the array of divine dolls and colorful decorations of the deities that we actually have in our temple. So what is the reason behind for all of the bhajans and the dolls?
Yes. So this is basically for us to, it is, when we say a prayer, there are a individual prayer system, there are group prayer systems. Actually, the group prayer system will fetch more result for the entire universal benefit. An individual, like, one of the reason I said the Devi Mahatmyam explains about Durga will bless us so that we know both selfishness and selflessness. So when we pray for myself, when I pray individually, I may be more selfishness at that time. But when I pray as a group, as a congregation, my prayer would be for the universal peace. So that is why this insists that Navaratri Kolu is to reveal about the basic reason for social gathering, congregation, community gathering, and then community feast, and showcase the innovative ideas of individuals in the group, okay, and art and craft capability, so that in a group, no, you get ideas from others. You can exchange ideas, you can exchange uh, innovative ideas among all of us. So it helps us to be uh, as a group, and then address our prayer for universal peace. And it's also opportunity to improve our relationship with the neighborhood. See, only when you know and understand about a community and neighbors, you can be friendly with them. So you will not, this is also indirectly seeing that you don't have enemies around you. Because when you go together, when you respect others, when you gather together and then exchange discussions with your neighbors, you all become friends. So that is one of the purpose of the Devi in a peaceful form. Okay, we call it as a Shanta Murti. One is Ugra Murti, another Shanta Murti. So, like handling things in a positive attitude way. So this all developed that. That is why there is an arrangement of Kolu dolls. People call it as a Navaratri Kolu, or some people call it as a Bomme Habba, or some people call it as a Bommala Kolu. Whatever you call it as in different language, it amounts to the same of, in a rack. There will be multiple rack. And then, of course, basically it will be an odd number of racks or shelf built, and all divine and decorated divinities and dolls are placed in each of the steps. Then art and crafts are displayed, and this will also encourage kids and children. It's an attraction for them to explore and do a lot of creative things. And people also invite the neighbors and exchange gift with them. Like that, there are some customs and practices and traditions which were inculcated to us by our ancestors, so that we are all together. So we are not a selfish person, but we are a selfless person, and we respect neighbors. So we congregate, we all assemble, and to make it a festival mood, there is also group dances are arranged, like grass garba, or dandiya, or garba. All those cultural events are also become a showcase in this place. So people will gather together in a common place and do enjoy and be together with the. It's also always good to be together. The good relationship you'll get developed. That is why these Kolu dolls and all the things are inculcated to us by our ancestors. These are all customs and tradition. Okay, what is told in the Devi Mahatmyam, that is on one aspect. But we have developed, the people, our ancestors have developed a system which can kept modified. Initially we had only all these Kolu dolls made in a particular way, but today the decorations are differently done, and we also bring in lot of technology into it. Like that, it amounts to creativity within us.
Yeah.
That's about the Kolu, Navaratri Kolu. Thank you, Divya.
Yeah, thank you, Uncle. Thank you, Sivachariar, for a wonderful session on a topic that I think a lot of us have learned a lot today. So I'd like to thank the speaker, the participants, and the viewers, and then the wonderful questions in the comment section today. Before ending this learning series, I would like to announce some forthcoming events at our temple. So we have our Shri Devi Navarãtri Mahotsavam that will be commenced today and will end on Monday, October 23rd. And there will also be Lalita Sahasranam Parayanam in the morning and Abhishekam in the evening for Siva Parvati. Shri Parvati.
Yes.
Navavarana Puja in the morning and Saptasati Parayanam in the evening. We have the Homam and Abhishekam for Durga, which is going to be performed in the first 3 days, and then Mahalakshmi in the 2 days, and Saraswati for 3 days in the morning. Durgashtami observation is on Sunday, October 22nd morning, and Durga Deepa Namaskara Puja in the evening. Vijaya observation is on Monday, October 23rd, and Chandi Homam, Shri Durga Lakshmi Saraswati Abhishekam in the morning, and Vidyarambam for children, and Shri Durga Praka Utsavam in the evening. And then final event is our Ras Garba Mahotsavam, which will be observed on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, October 20th, 21st, and 22nd, between 8 p.m. and 10:30 p.m., and it will be hosted in the Saraswati Hall. Well, thank you all for joining today, and we will see you in next learning series.
Thank you.
Namaste.